How's it going, everyone? I hope everyone's having a great Thanksgiving, those who are celebrating it. I know I'm going to have a great Thanksgiving. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun night, fun day, lots of food. It's just going to be awesome. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a fun, great day, like I've said several times already at the beginning of this video. But this video is not about Thanksgiving. This video is about CM Punk. Yes, a video about CM Punk. Now, released early this morning at 12 o'clock, or 12 a.m. to be exact. Actually, it was released yesterday for me because I live on the West Coast, therefore it was released at 9 p.m. for me, so I was able to listen to it. But regardless, it was released, which was the new Art of Wrestling with Cole Cabana, which is, a podcast that originally started the podcast world for wrestling. Cole Cabana really was the first person to do it, and then, next thing you know, guys like Steve Austin, Chris Jericho, Roddy Piper, Jim Ross, all these other guys started doing it, not too long afterwards. So Cole Cabana really was the first person to start the wrestling podcast. And none other than his guest for this episode this week was none other than CM Punk. After 10 months, CM Punk finally breaks his silence. CM Punk finally comes out and discusses about, basically everything that's happened to him, what led to his departure, everything that happened basically. And, going into it, everyone knew one day CM Punk would open up about it. It was just a matter of when. It took 10 months, but he finally came up and opened about it. On Cole Cabana's podcast, everyone knows Cole Cabana and him are best friends. They've been friends since, I think, high school or college. I forgot how. Oh, I think wrestling school they met, and they became instant friends and been friends since then. And CM Punk, like I said, it's been 10 months since he left WWE, and in those 10 months we've heard several different things about CM Punk, about how he quit, about how this is happening, how, he's not talking to people, how he's suing WWE. We've heard a lot of things, a lot of negative things towards him, which formed a lot of negative opinions and views about CM Punk, including myself. I'm not going to sit here and say that I've never thought badly about him. I was always CM Punk the entire time. No. As a fan of CM Punk, I was disappointed by the things I was hearing, but listening to this podcast, it really opened my eyes and really, changed my perspective on things and my outlook on CM Punk, because when he walked out, I think everyone up until now who's, at least listened to the podcast has had negative views on him, just think, oh, this guy is a quitter, he's a loser, who cares about him, but I think when you listen to this, if you haven't so far, which you can download, on iTunes or whatever, you can listen it to. I'll put the link in the description. Part 2 next week, by the way. They'll do another part next week, so it'll be fun to listen to. But, where's it going with this? But, yeah, everyone formed a lot of opinions on him. But once you listen to this, I think you'll really, not really think of him that bad of a light. You actually will understand the thing that he did. And it's actually a completely different story, in my opinion, than what we've been told by the sheets. The sheets, made it seem like CM Punk just walked out and said, fuck you, just left and did everything, just, refused to work. Where when you listen to him talk, it's almost as if it's completely untrue. Like, there's things that are true, but the way it happened is completely different than how the sheets made it seem like, at least in my opinion. The podcast is 2 hours, which is, you get a lot of information in that 2 hours. It's a very fun listen to. I'm not going to go over every single thing that he said because, the goal of this video is for you to go out and listen to it yourselves and, form your opinions on it and, see if it changes your view on, him and the situation. But I'll just go over the, the recaps and, some things that I didn't know, which, by the way, almost everything in this podcast, almost everything at least, was new information for me. A lot of things that I didn't know about, a lot of things that I knew about, but were told different things, and the way, he explained it was completely different than what I thought. So this is all new information, at least from my opinion. I don't think anyone else knows this, because he hasn't said a thing about it in 10 months, so no one really understands or knew what happened. Neither side spoke about it. Vince never said anything, Triple H never said anything, Punk's never said anything until now. So almost everything was new, and that's a great thing about this. You're just getting new information, and you're observing and learning about the situation and what built up to it. And when you listen to it, this has been building up for a long time. Like, I know Paul Heyman said that, but once you actually listen to, like, the things that he just went through and how many times that they screwed him over, you really feel for the guy. Like, you know what? I mean, I will justify the way he left because the way it happened, it's completely different than what I thought. So I think it justifies to an extent, I wouldn't say it completely, um, excuses everything, but I think it justifies it to an extent and makes it understandable to where it's like, all right, you know what? I understand why this happened now. Like, I know when it happened, people are saying, oh, I understand why. But like, once you listen to it, you'll understand even more. Like, okay, I completely understand why he did this now. And there was several occasions, like, in 2011 when he re-signed with WWE and was about to leave, he wanted to be a completely new CM Punk. He wanted to do a new look. He wanted to do new everything. Like, he even pitched ideas that he wanted to switch from trunks to like the UFC shorts, because he was getting sponsors. When he dropped that pipe bomb, people were calling him left and right. So they wanted to sponsor CM Punk, and he wanted to do the Brock Lesnar look, with the shorts with the sponsors all over it. He wanted to do that. He asked Vince. Vince told him no, like, oh, we can't do that because of our sponsors. And what do you know? Brock Lesnar comes back, and that's exactly what Brock Lesnar does. That was CM Punk's idea. Another thing was, he didn't want to lose the title to The Rock. He didn't want to do it. He wanted to lose the title at WrestleMania. He even said he wanted a triple threat elimination. Him, Cena, Rock in the main event. That's what he wanted. That's how he wanted to lose the title. They said no. Either he loses the title to Rock as a heel, because he didn't want to turn heel to begin with. The idea was, because Rock wanted to win the title from a heel, is either going to be from CM Punk or Daniel Bryan. So if Punk didn't go through with it, if Punk stayed face, we would have gotten Daniel Bryan and The Rock instead of the Royal Rumble, which would have been an awesome match. But a lot of things that he said, I'm kind of disappointed didn't happen. But once you think about it, like, it's the best that it didn't happen. And he doesn't go in order about everything. He'll go, he'll jump from one thing to another. So it's not in order. He'll just skip from thing to thing to thing. But it's a very good listen. One thing that I kind of like shook my head at was from the very beginning. He said, okay, nothing was about the money, but he talks a lot about money. So it's kind of like, you're saying it's not about the money. Yeah, you're saying, you're talking about how much you wanted the money. So it's kind of like he kind of contradicted himself there. But you definitely can tell when he got pissed off at things, because he was just getting really frustrated and really irritated at points. And he was really getting heated as he was talking. You can really tell it legitimately pissed him off. But it's a great listen. The injuries, he had so many injuries within 2010 to when he left. It was ridiculous how they didn't treat him. He had a lump on his back for 3 months, which ended up being a staph infection, which could have killed him, and they did absolutely nothing about it. They didn't try to help him. They just told him, like, oh, we can't do anything about it. And once he left, he got checked out and he got removed and said he could have died from it. So it's when you watch it, or listen to it. You can't you can watch the screen when you listen to it if you'd like, but it's up to you, not me. It's just it's a very good listen. It's, like I said, it's very informative. You really form a different opinion, and it's things that just built up, and the amount of times that they've said they're gonna do this, they end up going in a different direction. They promised him this, they didn't end up going through with it. They said, "Oh, I owe you one." Vince owed him 3 different things on 3 different occasions. Vince never went through with it. It's just like, you can't. The guy just got so fed up. Like, he didn't want to be there. And one thing I definitely want to skip to was what led to his departure. Now, what happened? What he says is, Rumble. The whole thing with the Rumble happened. He got a concussion. By the way, with the concussion thing, he had a concussion, and they had a new concussion test, and he passed the concussion test, and so they told him, all right, go with the ropes, go with the ring now, go on the ropes, we want to see if you're okay. So it's like, what's the point of taking a concussion test or an impact test and say, oh, I'm good, yet you guys are questioning if I'm good? Like, they treated him horribly, and like, he talks about the amount of things he does, like, he does, not just him, but other people do, like, the Make-A-Wishes all the time, just like John Cena, but they never acknowledge anyone else besides John Cena. He was originally offered the role for 12 Rounds 2, which he had. He was going to do the movie, but, he didn't want to miss the year. Well, he kind of did, because he wanted time off, but, he asked if he was doing the European tour, and, Triple H told him no, 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 no. And so, as they're figuring out the dates, they didn't even tell Punk, they just gave it to Randy Orton, and then, Punk asked Triple H, hey, get back to me, look at this, and Triple H said, yeah, I'll get back to you. And they gave the role to Randy Orton, so they just fucked Punk out of it, just because he wanted to know what dates he had off, or what dates he had to film for, and they just gave it to Randy Orton. They didn't even tell him. Another thing, when he got his knee surgery at the end of 2012, he was supposed to be out for 4 to 6 weeks, and he was in the ring in 3 weeks, because they wanted to do the TLC match with Ryback. So they really screwed him over a lot, and they really rushed him back a lot. He even said there's a lot of things where he said like he refused to do it, but like Vince always told him, "Oh, I'll owe you," and Vince never came through with it, which infuriated him. And the Shield was actually his idea. He said, the Shield was originally supposed to be a part of him. It's supposed to be him, Ambrose, Rollins, and Chris Hero. Actually, the original plan was for CM Punk to have a stable with the Big Show, Daniel Bryan, and Seth Rollins. That was supposed to be the original stable. That was supposed to be the original Shield. But then Punk said, "Fuck that. We're doing 3 new guys. I want Ambrose, Rollins, and Chris Hero." At the time was Cassius Ohno. They said no to Cassius Ohno because of course Triple H doesn't like him. And then they put him with Roman Reigns, and it was supposed to be Punk and the Shield. That's why the Shield was the enforcement for CM Punk. Punk was going to feud with Undertaker. After Undertaker, Punk was going to go with the Shield. They're going to be a unit going forward. So Punk originally was supposed to be the leader of the Shield. Never panned out. Punk was supposed to be gone for an extended amount of time. Punk was supposed to be gone from WrestleMania SummerSlam in 2013, but they rushed him back early, and they promised him all these things, and they just... When you listen to it, like I said, you understand a lot. Like, his credibility goes down. Like, he jobbed, or I wouldn't say jobbed, but he lost to The Rock, Undertaker, and Brock Lesnar. And his argument was, okay, I lose to The Rock, who's going to be here on Raw the next night? I lose to Undertaker, who's going to be on Raw the next night? If I lose to Brock Lesnar, who's going to be on Raw the next night? So, like, it never made any sense for him to lose to, like, guys like them, because they're not going to be there the next day. He is, though. So, like, why would you want a guy that's going to lose be on your show still and have the guy win not be there? It didn't make any sense to him. But going back to how he left, what would happen was the whole Rumble thing went through. He got a concussion in the Rumble match and got choke slammed. And while he was in bed, he looked at his wife, AJ, and he just, like, life, like, got put in perspective to him. Like, he didn't want to wrestle anymore. He lost the passion. He didn't feel the need to do it anymore. He wanted to go endeavor with other things. He showed up to Raw the next night. He wanted medical attention for the lump on his back. They refused to do so. He was fed up. He said, "No, Vince, I need to talk to you." And Triple H in the room as well. And Punk just explained, his grievances. He just said everything, like, he's tired of this, and that. And he didn't quit. The way he put it is he pretty much retired. He didn't quit. He was like, "No, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, I'm done. I don't feel the need to do it. I don't love it anymore. I'm done." So he didn't really quit. He kind of retired, and then he hugged Vince and he shook Triple H's hand and just walked out and was on his way. And the whole sabbatical that Vince McMahon told the promoters or the sponsors he has was a suspension. The Punk got suspended like a month later. He was suspended up until WrestleMania, he said, and then he was just sitting at home, and Triple H texted him saying, like, "Do you have a minute to talk?" And Punk was getting married in 2 days, and Punk said, "Hey, after my honeymoon, I'll call you right when I get home and discuss things." And the day of his wedding, he got fax papers saying that he was fired. So CM Punk technically never quit. He was fired. He retired. He told Vince, like, "I'm done. I'm no longer wrestling. I'm going to retire. I'm just going to sit out my contract." And they fired him. They said, "No, you're done." And, he wanted royalties that, he was supposed to get, never got them. So that's when he took him to court with a lawyer. And, he won the settlement. And he won plus more than what he wanted. So, just the whole podcast, I think, will open your eyes up to new things and really put you in a whole different perspective with Punk on the whole situation. I know it has for me. I know from a fan perspective, just the things I've heard, because it was always one-sided. You never heard his side. You just heard how Punk quit, how he yelled at Vince and pretty much told everyone to fuck themselves. So it put a nasty taste in your mind because that's all you were hearing. But once you heard the other side of the story, I think it really puts your mind and your view of it in perspective to something else. And I don't blame him. Like I said, I don't think it clearly slates everything. Like, I don't think it excuses everything, but to an extent, I think it justifies it. But it just happened. And it was something that was coming. And Punk just, when he resigned in 2011, nothing that he really wanted to do that he was promised in his new contract never really panned out, and just never went what he wanted to do. And he doesn't have love for wrestling anymore. So that's why he retired. He didn't quit. He retired. And I know I probably sound like, "Oh, I'm back on the CM Punk bandwagon now." I never was off it. I know I've talked down about him. It's just, as a CM Punk fan, I was disappointed, just the things I was hearing and everything and whatnot. But once I heard his side of the story, it's understandable now, and I still like him. I never not really stopped liking him. I was mad at him and disappointed, but now that I know the facts, I'm not hateful or spiteful towards him anymore. But yeah, this little video here, just just a little my thoughts and whatnot about CM Punk opening up on the Art of Wrestling. Definitely go listen to it. Go download it. Part 2 next week. CM Punk now has a partnership with Pro Wrestling Tees. He announced on the podcast as well, so that's going to be pretty awesome. But hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys enjoyed your Thanksgiving. And until next time, I'll see you guys later.